Okay, I have started recording now. Okay, now butts. Now we have the real butts. Oh no, God, I have to click out again. No, I've done it again. Wow, you are not wearing clothing. What? I called her Therese. I called my character Therese. I have notes on the side, so. Oh man. Oh, I love it. I love how OBS has like caught the Discord thing that has all of you guys' Discord handles in the corner. It is. It's quite cute. Uh, I have Astrid as another character that I made, but oh, you made Jaina? And yeah, also not wearing clothes. Oh, you did have an Anna. Yeah. Wait, what? That's pretty fucking good. You have a lot of Demon Hunter. Or yeah, you've got. I did not play this game enough. Wow. Yeah. Ah! Ah! All right, so I'm gonna get started. I don't know how to play this game. I'm gonna try and ignore the story as much as humanly possible because we gotta talk about role-playing games. Yeah, we are gonna talk about Kingdoms. Okay, cutscene. I'm sorry. You mean the escape button? I clicked it. Look at me. I have a sickle. Look how cool I am. Wait, I have a pet? What? Huh? What? Shit. How do I look fresh? What do I do? How do I get to my pets? Oh, okay. Oh wow, what the fuck? I can just put wings on? Oh, I forgot to change my pennant. Sad. I don't really need that. But I got oh, you got the wings too. I feel like it's appropriate for me. You have mercy wings? Whee! Okay, I'm gonna go back to I don't know, because like we can see you right now. I don't need any pennants right now, so here we go. Because DLC. Oh, how do you put your banner down? Yeah, you click on things. Oh boy. My wrists are gonna be angry with me by the end of this. I'm trying to. I live for this. So that's a kingdom campaign kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yay! Bring that down. Okay. So I have turned down the volume of the game by a massive amount, so that way you guys are totally more audible now. Mm. Well, there's a beep. Oh, I gotta play the lines. Da, 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 da. So I want Bazil to be here because like I have things that I talk about in terms of like how to build a kingdom and how to make that look nice. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it's largely just making sure that uh like you know what the details are and you know how the details are going to be like broken down. Like it's more like understanding what's going to be relevant to what the players are going to interact with, and then just like building to that specifically. Um, right, and so that's why you don't plan like specific anything when it comes to like kingdoms and things like that. When you're talking about larger setting stuff, you don't want too many details. You in fact want probably very few details. Oh hey, look, it's a combat thing. Well, okay, that was fast. Let's just do normal. Like, hey, it's Neck the Brawler. Hi. I don't care. Move away. Yeah, but just got a nice one. Nobody likes my Florida line. Oh, I can just hold the button down to move. That makes things easier. I don't even care. So basically, when it comes to kingdoms, Bizzle, do you want to start with your questions, or do you want to start with like my basic outline on how this works? Okay. Yep. Um, it's mostly there to provide context for players in terms of I can just hold the fucking button down. Um, yeah, I got gloves now. But I got a sash. Um, oh, cloth pants. Are they better than my current pants? Yeah. Yeah, we might have to switch to Minecraft. What I'm saying is, well, the problem is that there's loot drops. Yeah. Do you guys want to switch over to Minecraft then? Might be better in Minecraft. Yeah. Okay. So we can do that. Okay. So basically, when can we save next? And then, oh, okay. Well, exit Diablo 3. All right, cool. So we're all out, and I have Minecraft up. How do I play on your server? Holy shit! What is my favorite activity? Video game? What's your best friend's first name? Your favorite card game? To unlock skins? Holy Jesus! Yeah. What the fuck, Mojang? Did I spell it wrong? Did I get that name wrong? Okay. I kind of don't care. Like I can't access skins for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I gotta fucking switch over. Yeah, seems fine. I'm gonna put anime character in my background. There we go. Have some. Yeah, creative means you don't need. Yeah. Uh, my rubric marine. Uh, rubric marine. Yeah. RUBRICMARINE. I am aware. If I did do it, it would capital first letter and then lowercase for the rest. Um. Oh, I'm downloading things right now. So okay. So let's talk about this while I'm sitting here and like waiting for something to download. Um. So with kingdom building, um, it's about like in terms of like how I build it, and in terms of like what it's for. It the purpose of a kingdom building is to basically do a lot of tone setting. Um, like the purpose of a kingdom is to be the space of play, and it's also there to set the tone, set the feel, and set the vibe of a campaign. If you can do that without building a kingdom, then don't. Like, what is Minecraft Realms? Minecraft Realms. Oh, okay. Good. Wait, what did you say? Rewind. Yeah. What if you? Okay, say that. Repeat that one more time. Okay. Hmm. You need to build up the details that are relevant. Yeah, there's always some polity or something like that. Boy, this music is getting loud. But yeah. So there's always going to be a kingdom. But my assertion here is that a kingdom only needs as much detail as is going to be relevant to the campaign. So like if something takes place in a world, I'm gonna like change this right now and do full screen because what the fuck? I'm really sorry that I'm doing this again, but no, give me actual. There we go. I got it. Back to the game. Well, I'm in the world now. I don't know where anything is, but I found a dog. Yeah, there's a big cave out in the distance. Hello. Do I have a skin on? I can't tell. What is it? That's can I? How do you look at your own skin? Shit. Hey everybody. So I like that cave way out in the distance, but there's nothing on it. We could build on the island. Oh yeah, you can swim. We got doggos. We got two doggos. Yeah. But yeah, so in terms of kingdoms, right? The thing we're nominally talking about. Um, my main thing with kingdoms and kingdom building, that's is that it's there to set tone primarily. It's also there to be a hook for a number of different plot things, but it's basically a matter of like you're basically defining the peoples and the places and the things like that. It comes as part of like the sort of natural politics of an area necessarily. Um, so like the purpose is again to be both the backdrop when it needs to be and to be the foreground when it needs to be. Like it's it's there to provide hooks and opportunities for players, and far less to just be a thing on its own. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Quite a bit. Um, in daily life. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. Wait a moment. So there's the cultural impact of. Mm, there are certain things that are culturally, say, American. Would you agree with that statement? Right, but are there like are there universal things about being an American? Is there no? But culture is more than just that too. God, you guys made it all the way over there very quickly. Um, God damn you and your boat. Um, where did Sam go? The fuck is Stone Age? So my thing here is so, but there are things that we know collectively as a group and as a nation, that is unique to being in the United States. Um, and there's sort of like a shared collection of knowledge, which is the other part of culture, um, that is relevant to us in particular. Ah, shit. I know. Sorry, I am. Yep. I mean, I'm gonna say for certain, like the local principality is always gonna be the most important principality. Like, I don't disagree with you on that notion. I'm just saying that there are things that it's a city state, but it is a state. Yeah, it's just a city. It's a city state, which is sort of a mix between like a kingdom and a city. Yeah, that's not. How do I fucking? How do I make a wooden pickaxe? Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to go mining for a bit, and I just fell down. But we're in peaceful mode, so I never lose food. I'm gonna go make an iron fucking thing. Oh, I bet you are. Right? Right. Yeah. Yes. And that's what I mean is that your kingdoms can't have larger realming impacts. And that's why it's important to make sure you have like a rough idea of what's going on and get some basic details as to what the is going on in the kingdom. Um, and not just, leave things out to dry. Is that just this is dumb. Yep. What is this stone? Is this a different kind of stone? Is that gravel? Oh, it's silt. How did you get down here? How on earth did you get down? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, we could also just take the water up, which is what I'm doing. Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. It's okay. I fucked up. Let's make a staircase. Um, there. Yeah, we're on peaceful. Doesn't matter. We got different ideas as to where this staircase is going. Yeah. Ooh, oh, there's an opening here. Oh my god. Let me just go grab my thing. Oh wow, there's a bunch of coal in here. What? We gotta get up there? Alright, I'm going around. Oh god damn it. Oh no. Okay, well, here we go. This is pro strats. Let's do this. God damn it. How did you get right? Um, yeah, I think like low level players, I would definitely say that like um. Oh yeah, I know, I know. You don't like it when people do the big stuff. No, as far as I know. I mean, yeah, there's. I mean, well, you could also have a political game where 4 people is going to be a relevant number of people in a political game. I mean, D&D is kind of bad at it, but there's other ways of handling it. No, I mean, yeah, like persuasion. Yeah. So, so yeah, like assassinating people is useful. I don't know why I clicking on that. Uh, unlike me, I don't care. So, I generally think kingdoms can be relevant on the campaign scale, um, or like they can be useful on the campaign scale. And I generally think that being part of one kingdom versus being part of another kingdom can be very, very relevant in terms of like how you are impacted in the game. And I think you agree with me on that. What? If you're not careful, all the kingdoms are going to be the same. Right. So that's why. Well, that's where you get into that's where you get into like kingdoms being, I suppose like generally speaking, like when you're building a kingdom, you got to be thinking about things like that's cool, but there's alpacas up there, but so like when you're building a kingdom, you have to be thinking about things that are going to make it unique in terms of like how does this feel different from being in a different kingdom? Like I don't think anybody would really deny that one. I mean, but I think it's like a general course. I mean, sometimes people just think whatever you can have the same kingdom over and over and over again, but like it's sort of important to write down a few details. Right, which is why you need to make sure you at least prepare something. I'm saying that like, oh thanks. Don't need to punch me. Um, but I think like obviously you need to like prepare kingdoms and do world building. But like what I'm saying is that like you don't need to do a whole buttload of world building in order to make unique kingdoms. Like you can get it done pretty quickly. I'm not saying a second, but I'm saying it can be done like uh I mean that would be relevant to circumstances at the very least. Um and they'll have different goals and motivations and things like that. Like by well, no, that's what he's saying. I mean, unless you change around the particular politics of it. But. Okay. I suppose. Right. God, yeah, that's what we're saying. The kingdom of the nation is kind of like the only thing. You like put down a house thing. I don't know what. Oh, hey, there's a little hole down here. I'm gonna follow Sam. Here, let me just. What? Out of a gun. But yeah, I don't care for anything, but I'm good with stone for right now. Um, so yeah, I think in terms of like kingdom stuff, you've got um like how to make so I guess your question is how do I make a kingdom feel unique within a playthrough, or like how do I make it feel like the kingdom is important or relevant even when I'm playing things on the local level? Okay. So I guess my first answer to that is it comes down to like how the you obviously have to know how the kingdom is built necessarily, or sort of like what are the important aspects of it. I think you guys can kind of understand what I'm meaning here. Um, and so for that, it's a matter of like, um, okay, so I guess I'll go over the basics of what kingdom building is. I have like a whole list here of how to build kingdom, but it's really just like how do you want the kingdom to impact the campaign? Like you have to be thinking about it in terms of like that broader context of like the campaign itself. So like how do you want people to feel about it? I wrote it down as like what do you want your emotional resonance to be? Um and sort of just piecing together like how do people want to feel about that particular kingdom. So yeah, something. So yeah, there's things like that, but there's also things like, do you want to feel like this kingdom is honorable? Do you want to feel like this kingdom has a lot of intrigue? Do you want to feel like this kingdom is oppressive? Do you want to feel like this kingdom is like barely holding itself together? Like, how do you want to feel about what's going on in this kingdom and how this kingdom is currently running things, and how do people feel about how it's currently running? Maybe this kingdom is like run by thieves, and so it feels like a seedy underbelly, and so like everything's sort of like a backroom deal. Um, and so that's kind of the place where you want to start when you're thinking about a kingdom. You're thinking about like how do you want the players to feel about that particular kingdom? How do you want them to emotionally interact with the kingdom itself? Yeah. Um, and so from there, um, with the kingdom, so with that in mind, with that sort of context in mind, you want to start, you sort of build out your basic facts of that kingdom. There's certain things like say like where its borders are, what its geography is, um, that are kind of like if you already drew the map, you got to put the kingdom somewhere, right? Um, but like if you haven't drawn the map first, then you can write all this stuff out and be like, well, what geography is going to help me bring about this emotional resonance? Um, and that's a little bit harder to do, but like you know if you want a kingdom to feel like kind of uh like mercantile, then you probably want them to be largely coastal or very small. Mimicking Venice is always a good idea when you want like a whole region to feel mercantile. Um, yeah, like mimicking like a Venice or a Genoa or something like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Mimicking real world stuff is never a bad idea. I mean, you could also copy other sort of like coastal kingdoms that are largely trade based. You could copy like Carthage or like a Rome that has a bunch of different things. The Dutch, always fun, also coastal. You'd be surprised how many mercantile groups and economies are just coastal by nature. Listen, buddy. Okay, I got it. Okay, so Uh, you can also, I mean, you can also make a mercantile kingdom that's just like in the middle of a bunch of other kingdoms because everybody's got to trade through them or whatever, what have you. For instance, there's lots of sort of mercantile kingdoms that would crop up along the Silk Road because people had to walk through that space. Now, mind you, largely, yeah, yeah, exactly. Always fun. But yeah, so but if you want to make a kingdom feel like isolated and separate from everybody else, then put them in the mountains. Like you try to bring in that sort of emotional resonance when you build out the kingdom and like you're setting up the geography to facilitate that. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Like an honorable feeling kingdom, it almost doesn't matter where you put it so long as it's not in a fucking swamp. Um, because like okay, um, and I mean you start building things beyond that point, but I'm kind of done with geography. If you want to start asking questions, yeah. There are larger polities. Oh no, you totally can do that with all with cities, and you can have a kingdom that has multiple geographies in it to sort of show a diversity of stuff. I am aware, like, but and obviously the other thing, I I have other things, guys. Okay, so anyway, so and in addition to that, it's important to have multiple. Usually a kingdom will have multiple geographies. That'll help sort of define it. But I'm just saying that like try to include those sorts of things. Um, in addition to that, I think I wrote down borders, which is another sort of geography thing. It's just drawing lines in the sand. It almost doesn't matter. It mostly matters in terms of like how big or how small the kingdom is. Sort of for like how much physical space on the map does it take up can have an impact on the emotional resonance of a kingdom. Uh, so if you're really big, it's I don't even know what you found. I'm like standing at the beginning of Sam's strip mine. How do I? Hey y'all. Hey y'all. How do I sprint? What? You double tap. Where is? Oh, hello. Wait, where's Brazil? Oh, he's over here. They're like up here. Am I going the right direction? Oh, hi. That's well. Yeah. There's a waterfall. Holy crud. Mind your way through, and then you're gone. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying. Really weirdly mountainous here. Um, you know what? It's all good. So yeah, so in addition to just geography, and I know like obviously you can just use geography on the smaller scale as well, and usually on the smaller scale geography is. I mean, depends on what we're defining. Like, yeah, obviously island kingdoms and things like that. But like, it depends on how large your polity is. You can have a kingdom with like, say, like four major cities, that largely exists within a large plane or something. Like it's obviously not going to only encompass a plane, but like you can have kingdoms that are relatively small and only encompass like one or two sort of geographic environments. God, I am aware, dude. Like I know the differences, but yeah, like you can usually define a kingdom's geography to say like geographies and climates and biomes and things like that to like maybe like four probably, and it'd be pretty realistic. Um, don't quote me on that because I know nothing about how the real world works. But what? Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. That's totally a thing. That's a real thing. Um, but oh god, this is terrifying. I'm like underneath a mountain. Oh no! Oh no! My secret's revealed. Um, that would be something. Oh yeah, one of my coworkers told me about that. I'm like on top of this fucking. It does. My coworker found it fascinating. But yeah, so moving on to other things that are important when you're building a kingdom, and like you probably these are sort of like the required elements that are like if you don't know what your kingdom's geography is, then it's probably very far away. Um, so generally speaking, where the borders are, like how big the kingdom is, how much space it takes up, because that'll inform like is it a vast sort of sprawling empire, and each polity is in each of the like little city states and like lesser kingdoms as part of that empire, are they sort of like self governing mostly? Usually, smaller kingdoms are better at running having a higher level of state control, whereas like larger kingdoms are much harder at doing that, and they tend to delegate more. Um, yeah. Um, in addition to that, there is population. How sparse is the population? That helps get across resonance and tone. Now, mind you, this is also something that changes. It's as you guys say, very local, but you can also have larger sprawling areas. You can have larger like geographic regions that are just more sparsely populated. Say like a kingdom in the deep north where like it's snowy all the time and not a lot of people live there. You know what I mean? Um, so you can have that sort of like population stuff, and sort of like population, like how many people are there. In addition to that, there's sort of like resources, especially specialized resources, because this is really one way you could really differentiate between like kingdoms, and it also works. Again, this is another thing that totally works on the city level as well. Is a kingdom can have like access to certain resources that other kingdoms don't have access to, and this is resources is much more of like a comparative measurement. Like, what does one kingdom have that another kingdom doesn't? You know what I mean? Um, and so sometimes when you have access to say like gnomish engineers, you can have access to like weapons of war that are like wildly different from everybody else. Well, maybe I don't know. It depends. It could be that they're very defensive and it's a dwarven kingdom or something. Yeah. It affects items you can buy. It also resources also impacts emotional resonance. Like let's say your kingdom is food poor, that adds a certain emotional resonance to your kingdom. Or like let's say your kingdom is food rich. That means that gives more of an impression or a vibe of like a particular kingdom is like a decadent. Then they're gonna have a whole lot of food. And so like what resource the kingdom overall has access to can give you some ideas on the emotional resonance overall in terms of like for your particular campaign. In addition to that, I wrote down governance and politics, and this is probably the most kingdomy of the kingdom aspects. Is like how does the kingdom govern its people? And I got a little bit into that with the population. and the general size and borders of it. But this is really more like, are you a theocracy? Are you a total monarchy? Are you all of, these different kinds of ways of running something? In the fantasy campaign, you could have a mageocracy. Always fun, always fun. Um, but you guys can kind of get the idea there, where like how the kingdom governs itself is an important aspect of like, yeah, it's probably the most important one, and it's very important to put it down. Uh, and then the last thing, and I might get into an argument with Bazil over this, is you. Oh, and Drew has never like stalled out an entire campaign just to talk about crafting. Uh, I like. Oh man, I really regret adding a crafting system to that campaign. I know. This needs to be outside, and I just need to be better about telling Drew like we're not doing this right now. Because I think unique stuff could be useful. Anyways, that's getting to our personal campaign. So that's true, but it allows. The other thing is that specifically, I more like the system of crafting in terms of like gemstones, so that way you don't have to have like six different weapons for different elemental types if you need to do that elemental damage. You can just be like, hey, slot out this gemstone for another one. I don't think it's necessary either. I just think it's fun for Drew, and it's great for him, and it's helpful for you guys in terms of like it's helpful for you guys in terms of like allowing you to, you know, that way it's not like the party's going to be unequal in terms of access to a resource. Um, anyways, getting back to kingdoms, the next thing in my list is culture, and this is where I'm going to get into an argument. So, but generally speaking, a particular kingdom will have a like certain few things that are culturally relevant to that kingdom. Yeah. And so I think like in terms of like like these are the aspects that are going to be like hitting the players the most often. Like and I agree with you. It is very broad strokes, and it's important to make a it's important to sort of like note out like are there deviants to that particular like the particular things that are within that culture, and like what parts of the kingdom agree with the general kingdom culture and what parts do they disagree with, and like in particular what kinds of parts do they agree or disagree with. But when your kingdom is like two kingdoms over, don't worry about it. Just write down a couple of lines as to like what the general gist of the culture is like, and you'll be good to go. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know what you mean by that. Yeah, what is? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. But like some people work for the kingdom. A lot of people work for the kingdom, and so you're gonna get a lot of people who interact with the kingdom in that way. I'm gonna go into your house. Oh God, there's no doors. I mean, what door? I haven't done anything but stand around and talk to you guys, so here I am. I'm just gonna pop open a door here. Is there an alien in the sky? What the fuck? Sorry, I just heard alien noises. Hi there. I opened a. Oh, we'll figure this one out. I like this because it's like a door, and then it takes you like right outside, and you're like, oh, what a beautiful view. Oh, you want a door on every side. Okay. Yeah, gotta get that snow out of here. Is there dirt? There's dirt in the roof. Oh, okay. Oh well, I can just throw some at you. Take my oak planks. But yeah. So, oh look at that. We have beds now. We can sleep. Take a little nappy nap. Um. So and so those are sort of the basic like the things I listed. Like what are the borders? What's the border in geography? Yeah. How many people live there? Maybe like one piece of information on the demographics, sort of like what kind of people live there. Um, the geography and resources, just the basic facts of like what's happening within that kingdom and like what are the obvious things that exist there. Um, it's important, and again, for that reason also is like what are the governance politics? Probably maybe like technological level if it matters. Like if everything has the same technological level, then it doesn't matter. That's a world detail and not like a specific like here setting detail and like kingdom detail. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the higher level stuff will handle some of these aspects as well. Um, but yeah. And then like what's the culture? Like a line or two about like what the general culture is like there. What things are sort of like edicted and mandated. What things are sort of like what festivals exist that are sort of like kingdom wide and that are unique to that kingdom. A lot of this is just like, does this exist over a large region or does this exist just in this kingdom? And so when it exists just within the kingdom, then it's going to be over. Then that's going to be a thing. Okay, now we move on. There are other details you can add to a kingdom if it's important or relevant to the campaign that helps set the tone for that campaign. Do you want me to list, or do you want me to tell you why there's things that are extra details you can add? God damn you! So, uh, yeah. So here are some examples. Like understanding the economics, the trade, and like how do merchants do their business? What taxes sometimes are like taxes are actually super relevant if you're thinking in terms of if like trade and mercantile stuff is super relevant to your campaign. Um, so like how do the economics of this particular kingdom function? That's important to know if the economics are going to be a relevant factor in setting the tone and feeling and the emotional resonance of that particular kingdom. So you want to add those kinds of details. Uh, how religious and what kind of religion do they follow and what's the religiosity? That's important if you have a theocracy, right? Um, and sort of like what are the tenets of that? Sometimes you want to think about uh, sometimes you want to think about the specific demographics. Maybe you like there's humans and there are elves in this kingdom and they don't get along. For instance, I had a kingdom, yeah, kind of a kingdom. Um, like a large kingdom that existed in your guys' Pathfinder campaign setting that had high elves and dark elves, and they never got along. But they both, you guys never went there. I alluded to it. I talked about mushroom forests because I was basically just like, "Hi there, I copied Morrowind," but I know there's one right outside. Oh no, I'm just standing in a house because those building things. Yes. Yeah. Oh no, you can't open the door here. God damn, Bazil, what is with this door? There's no platform. Oh my god. Anyways, so yeah, I think there is. Let me see. So in addition to that, like specific flora and fauna, like particular kinds of animals and stuff, that's actually really relevant in terms of like if there's like kingdom wide, in terms of like travel and moving around, sometimes cuisine, things like that. But like flora and fauna specific to a kingdom tends not to be the case. I tend to think of things in terms of like a kingdom is like within a particular like larger region, and then each region is made up of smaller like biomes or like a microbiome essentially. Um, and so like yeah, wow, I have a cool looking apple. But so yeah, so I have so there's that kind of stuff. Flora and fauna tends to be like a biome wide thing more so than a like very specific thing. But sometimes you have something that only grows in a specific area, or a certain kind of animal that only lives in a certain kind of area. Um, and that'll usually be unique to that kingdom. Um, Endemic. Thank you very much. In addition to that, it's good to know things like traditions and holidays. Let me turn down the music a little bit, like down to 50%. That'll be good. Um, so so traditions and holidays, these are sort of like extra aspects of culture. Sort of like what are the traditional things that happen in this kingdom? That's something that can be very relevant to help differentiate kingdoms. It's just like you know what are traditions of the people here? What do people say? Maybe they have a unique phrasing of certain things. Maybe they have a unique sort of like greeting or gesture or something like that. And so you sort of get that from kingdom stuff. Uh, Although that can also be a region wide thing. This is where things can get kind of fuzzy between like what a kingdom and a region is about. But yeah, and then in addition to that would be I would say sort of like landmarks, sort of like important places of interest that exist within that kingdom, just to sort of like list them out and be like, oh, this kingdom has this cool natural feature, or this kingdom has the pyramids, as the sort of like as the like touchstones of that kingdom. That's what people will probably know that kingdom for, and things like that. So those are kind of the details that you can add in to sort of give a feeling to add to the feeling of a kingdom, to add to that emotional resonance. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what kingdoms are mostly doing. Uh, oh, they can do other things. Oh, they can do way more than that. I'm just saying that like the first job of a kingdom is setting tone and feeling. Yeah. I mean, oh, I gotta make a fucking. Okay, I'm just gonna plop some shit down. You know what? Yeah, I don't have any more to say about this thing. And kingdoms can do other types of jobs as well. It's just a matter of scale. Like the other things that kingdoms can do, just kind of becomes a matter of like scale. You know what I mean? Like you can do it on the smaller scale as well, right? Right. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Not my friend. Oh yeah, no, that totally helps as well. Hey, look, I put the other pressure plate down. Why? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Who's the trade? I'm gonna drop a bunch of trees. Are you? Is it a? Is this a tree we can't get rid of? Ah. Well, I'm just gonna drop a bunch of trees like right outside the house. That's exactly what I did, and get ready for a ton of trees. Right? Yeah. So that's the probably the most important factor for a foreign kingdom. I guess I should probably differentiate. Like, if it's in your campaign, the details that I said, like what is there, is going to be relevant because that's what's there. You know. Um, but yeah, if you have a kingdom that like is way off in the distance, how people feel about that kingdom is way more important than you know. That's the yeah, it's the only thing you have to know. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. I tell you, my kingdom does not burn babies. What are you talking about? Right. I think when you're talking about like a, I mean, when you're doing character interaction, I think that's probably really relevant. But I also think that like what is actually happening is important to know. You know what I mean? Right. That's I again like I'm aware, and I'm aware there's sort of like an illusion, but like there is to some level like you need to know what's actually true to some extent, so that way like at the very least to keep yourself consistent and to help build that consistency within your campaign. Like you need to have to some degree know like what is happening, what does exist. Uh, I mean, you can, yeah, like yeah. What I'm saying is that like if you're prepping a kingdom, then you probably want some details that are definitely going to be true. You know what I mean? Like it's good to have like actual facts about the place when you start building it out. Like because like people can have opinions about things, but like are they right? Is kind of an important answer. Like are I don't know why I'm just drawing snow. It's my life now. Oh, yeah, again, what I'm saying is, again, this is again like what I'm saying is important for like kingdom that is you are in as part of your campaign. You know what I mean? Like things off in the distance, like I said, your thing takes way more primacy there. Like I'm not saying like building a kingdom around rumors is a very cool way of doing it. I'll agree with you on that one. But I'm just saying that like it's important to know the like what just on its own. The problem that you run into is that like if everything is built on rumors, it's hard to keep a kingdom sort of consistent in that way. Like it's hard to keep a kingdom like really consistent when the only thing you know about it are rumors that people have about it. Like that's the one problem I would run into. Like it is a really cool way of doing it, but I'm just saying that like writing out like the rumors that people have, and then like beneath all of those rumors, like what the actual truth is, especially like if you're in the kingdom while it's happening, that's I think it's just good information to have. Um, and so that way you can get you have all the different aspects. So that way like you can have people say things, and your players will kind of like intuit what is true and what is not. And again, like it's really good in terms of feeling for players to just be able to piece together the truth. You know what I mean? And so I think in terms of that, like it's just good to have a thing where like players can like learn the truth, and it's I don't know. I think I came across relevant. Yeah, that does. It totally leans towards a mystery game. Rumors are always leading towards mystery. Yeah, intrigue. Ooh, God, that's where it lives. It's his house. Rumors live in the intrigue house. Hey, you know what? I'm building a staircase up to your house. Oh wow, you got real deep in there. Okay, so that's where my door is. Always important. Okay, so I gotta get back to the box to make a bunch of stairs. That's not even a kingdom. It's just a place. It's like it's there's no. I yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Okay. Yeah, and and sometimes they're gonna follow similar rule sets and things like that. Oh my god, Brazil. You have a very particular image of me in your head. As far as I want to care about history, there are pantheons and there are kingdoms. Right. Yes, we will talk about cities. Cities are kind of the like, or cities and local municipalities, I guess. Cities are where the fun is. It's true. Kingdom's kind of a great model for that. Oh, the world building thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm building an antechamber, so yeah. As you do. I don't know. Right. Right. Yeah. It depends. So I think it's important to have like one or two details. Like if you know the kingdom exists, then you probably should have a couple of details defining that kingdom. Um, okay. I think if it's something that exists in the world, I mean, okay, if the kingdom is going to be relevant to what you're doing in terms of like your one shot, then yes, I would say definitely. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you asking us like? Are you asking us like? How can you tell if something is going to be relevant to your campaign? Um. Okay. Right. I mean, really depends on what you want to build for your adventure. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, then do it. Yeah, you don't really need the kingdom for like a one shot. Yeah, that's not a job for the that's not quite a job for the game master. Yes. Oh yeah, they totally can. I mean, oh, I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy that creative control. I'm just saying that like it's not necessarily my job specifically to do that. Like it feels in that case, um, beyond the aspects that I've already defined for Milani. Yeah, if you have aspects that you want to add, I hate. Um, uh, yeah. Well, I fucked up then. Well, that's kind of what I did for that particular card of the game. If you have something you want to add to Milani, just like tell me, and I'll probably say yes. Like I Hey, you know what? As long as you don't, you aren't gonna fuck around with my anti chamber stuff. They give you a thing in the menu to do it. I need that for jumping. Here we go. Oh, why did I split up my cobblestone? Yeah, they are just called plonks. I love you, Vizo, but sometimes. Uh, never, not even a little. Um, God, I had to make this fucking roof, and I'm just like, This is gonna be gigantic. Yes? Yeah. I have wheat seeds too. Really, he's we're hilariously far away from water. I mean that can be changed. I know. I'm a little joking a little bit, but we don't have a lot of flat land. Is the problem, which is why I yeah. You need like a compass or a map. Oh, hello. It'd be great if I named it too. 1, 2, 3. Seems fine. I know Brazil hates us, so he runs away sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still building this fucking chamber. Do you have issues with my aesthetic? Yeah, it's a bit of a medieval feel. What? Yeah, it's well, that's wild. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be opinions on this regarding my current campaign. Yeah, players should have some level of input. That would be a little weird if they didn't. Goddamn Brazil! Oh my god. I mean, we can make a Kenku boy later. Oh no. I mean, listen, man. I've done the big campaign. I've done the shit, and I'm like, shit. I don't know. Oh boy, here we go. Probably. I like how fucking tripped out Sam is right now. They did. They put a lot. Run out of stone. That's weird. That's very weird. I'm happy you're so hyped about this. All right, Bazil. Yeah, that's been there for a while. Yep, I'm out. Time to strip mine. So, how much input should players have? Okay, so I think players should probably have like, uh, I think players should. Oh, I don't know if I entirely agree with that notion. Um, so I think players should probably have an amount of input that's um, like I think it's I think kingdom building is relevant to players in terms of like how they can build their characters. You know what I mean? Like it matters for their characters largely speaking, and if they want to add more details, that's fine as well. But like I think there's a certain players maybe aren't necessarily involved if it doesn't mean anything for their character. Um, and that they, I think they can add more details, but I just don't think the player at that point has the great priority. Like when it's a character relevant detail, I think the players should have a lot of input in terms of like what the kingdom is. But like if it's not, you know, part of their particular character, then I'm a little bit more wary about how much they are um, there. I'm gonna save myself a bunch of time right here. Boop. How do I? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Mhm. Right. I guess more what I mean is that the game master needs to be responsible for the setting. Like they become the game master is responsible for like the setting overall. Like they become the master of the setting. You know what I mean? Like they have to be the one to make decisions on that. So it's important for the game master to have a large amount of input early on, or like to have a large amount of authority or sway over what is or isn't there. Um, just in terms of like setting up for that particular thing, setting up for. Oh yeah, no, that's true as well. I think well, City in the Dark is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, well, no, Brazil. I've been trying to get players more involved in like part of the setting for a while now, and your fucking City in the Dark has done it better than anything else I've tried. Yeah, great. Very wood. Well, as we all do, we all must make decisions in this world. Also, my antechamber is coming along. Uh, well, okay, here we are. Okay, well, there's a hole in the wall. That's fun. Aha! I did it. Real hype. Wiggle the doorway, build it for the day. What? Down. All right, I did it. I made. Oh, I need to do some work on like the corners. What the fuck is going on here? I mean, yes, I'm doing that. I just have to like live in it. Loving it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yep. Okay, I got it. It's okay. Everyone gets distracted, even me. Yeah, no, crazy. Yep. That's always. Yep. That's pretty much. I like how it's like give your players some toys. You know, let them have a little fun with them. It's this weird infantilization of your players. It's kind of funny to me. I mean, you're not wrong. It's just funny, okay? Like it is. Yeah, because like you're my players. I'm like, does those just call himself a small child? Well, don't hurt my feelings. I mean, Sam, you buy into basically every plot thread I throw at you, and I'm always happy for it. What the fuck? He does. He really likes lore. Let me tell you. Secret. Did you say you killed God hoping to find goat bone meal? Oh, okay. I was getting a little concerned. I was getting a little concerned. Um. Oh no. Yeah. Anyways, there's a port. I listen, buddy. I spent a lot of time and effort and energy in building that antechamber. All right. I know. I had to put some torches on the outside just for that aesthetic quality. That could be that true, but that's not useful. Need birch. Well, that's not good. Gotta stand up again. Oh, da, 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 da. Although speaking of, it's like 9 o'clock right now, and I need to go do life things at some point. Yeah, I know. I'm the one who puts a lot of effort in. I don't think it's necessary to visit it again. Um, yeah, cities would be fine. Can I? Can I? It's hilariously good. It's super good. I've been able to talk. Yeah, yep, yeah. No, it's pretty excellent for that. Um, yeah, it is. It always nice. Where the fuck is your? I need to find your dock. Like, where the hell is this thing? Okay, let me go find you. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I feel like you're putting more effort into this than anyone else. He's a very good boy. Yep. You have like 1,000. Like, I love it. It's gonna be great. Like, next week you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna talk about this about cities. I'm like, yeah, I do that for kingdoms. Um. Okay. Um. Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Mhm. You're just like, no, no more lava. Are you talking about that? Oh, hey, there's a little thing down here. Oh. Oh no. Fuck. If wait, if what? Oh, sorry, Brazil. All right, I'm gonna take a little nap. You can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms. All right. Um. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that was fun. I like this. I will help say that. And yeah, no, hope we had a wonderful time. I'm gonna take this video and stop recording right now. Say goodbye, please. Please clap.